So good to be here. The first time I read at KGB was, I think, like 11 years ago. So nothing has changed. Still which is a great thing. Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Thank you to all the editors at SmartishPace. It's such an honor to be in the pages of SmartishPace. So, I'm going to start with a couple of poems from my first book, my only book. And I love this. So I'm going to read a Christmassy poem, Men with Breasts. When I see men with breasts, mammillary, twin elfin mounds bulging through shirts, I suppress the bubbles of emotions that might burst out of me, a moan, a giggle. I think nubile children trapped in adult men, daughters hidden in their bodies, the women in these men manifesting themselves. Do their hands make pilgrimages to these holy places? Do they gently stroke the knobs of their areolas to summon a lover from anywhere across snowbanks or Eden fields? Or do they curse them for obstructing intimate embrace with pillows? Do they desire the armored chests of Greek heroes, demigods, and gods? At the beach, they parade in front of me like platters of fruits. Chinese plums, glossy pink and cup size, pale strawberries, hairy kiwis. My father, too, possesses a pair of dwarf papayas, elongated, sagging into cusp of rosy resin, languid, nestled on his stomach like the Buddhist. I know my father's breasts are empty, and my thirst will remain unquenched. I can suck and suckle, work them like the teats of a newly birthed sow or bitch, play the spherical instrument of his nipples with my tongue to hear celestial music, and there will be no warm, nourishing colostrum. I mean, it has celestial music, so that's... But this is actually my Christmassy poem. It's actually, it's 3 sections, and they're all prose poems. Watermelon. This morning, thirsty from the drain of night's sleep, I ate a thick slice of sweet watermelon, cold, the kind of cold that could satisfy William Carlos Williams. Forget the coffee, cream cheese bagel, and bacon. I admit it, I'm fixated with this fruit, green outside, red on the inside, like Christmas, or my mother painted green, or like the Mexican flag without the eagle and the stripes, but with seeds, which, when sun-dried and salted, become the favorite snack food of Filipinos. 2. I once told a tale to my younger sister of how I was conceived. Our mother went out for a walk one fine day in April, maybe June, and she walked down this path in the province, dried and brown and worn, but teeming with butterflies, and the withered leaves and splinters on the ground crackled under her feet, sounding like wet wood placed on a bonfire. She walked until she stumbled upon a watermelon field, where, overcome with thirst and hunger, she picked the largest, fattest fruit, cracked it open with her slender hand, and found me in it. She carried me home, and my true story ended. My sister rolled her 10-year-old eyes at me and said, "Mommy had sex with Daddy." 3. This summer night, I craved the satisfying sweetness of watermelon. I head to the kitchen and open the refrigerator, searching, then remembering that my father had eaten it for dinner. There's no more watermelon. All that remains is a plum, burgundy, overripe, bitten. The teeth marks I know belong to my sister. This is actually the first time I'm reading this poem that's published in SmartishPace, and do buy a copy. a good collection. Actually, one of the contributors is also here, Ron Villanueva, who's a fantastic poet as well. So, plug. Ducks. I am the odd number in the 17-seater plane, center seat punctuating the aisle the length of 3 adult bodies, a telescopic view of cockpit, pilots, and sky, blue beyond the grass, blue beyond the glass, clear as daybreak. When the twin propeller engine jackhammers, sputters, then dives for the second time, she who sits beside me gasps to terrified wakefulness, screaming for her mother as if she's been hurled back into her childhood of terrible nightmares infested with monsters. I sit in dread, heart suspended like the fiery heart of Jesus, alighting my grandmother's velvet tapestry. Friends and I christened these small planes that fly into mid-sized cities like Charlottesville and Savannah, ducks, Air Leonard Skinner, tin can gliders, Icarus's son, Patsy Cline, post-continental, body holly killing machines. We're a literary bunch with a rock and roll slant, I think, how I'd miss my friends. The plane drops only to rise again, a shaky, confused phoenix rattled by turbulence, circling LaGuardia Airport, a faraway nearby. I too gasp in protest. I do not want to die, not immobile inside a metallic winged egg, unhatched, in nauseated suspension, not capsuled with Long Island denizens, buffed, tanned, and oiled to crispy, leathery shine. There's still Istanbul, a wedding in March, Sunday brunch with Irish scones, clotted cream, and tea, summer rain and silent snow. I want to wake up mornings fulfilled, dewy with afterglow. The plane glides, hesitates, plummets, and I see ahead the glittering skyscrapers of Manhattan, the outline of the island, crystalline waters growing darker, deeper, silvery with fishes murmuring, "You do not own your life." So these are newish poems from my manuscript, my second manuscript. So I'll read probably just a couple more. The Dogs of Childhood. My next door neighbor's dog yips and barks incessantly, and I'm haunted by all the dogs from my childhood. Amos, with his black-brown face like fudge mocha swirl and pink lapping tongue of curious affection, lived as shortly as his tail chewed off by a nursing sow. He leads the litany of puppies born in haphazard quarters of our overstuffed house in Manila that died from early onset of canine diseases, or trampled by goats and cows in the chaotic bestiary. The runaways surely disappeared into bay leaf and peppercorn garnished plates, then into the stomachs of vinegary men drinking their salaries and lives away. As boys, we ran in packs and fought feral dogs with bamboo sticks, rusty pipes, stones. We taunted copulating pairs until the bitches tightened and dragged their mates like carcasses down cruel streets that offered no mercy. Dogs unleashed lupine lust in us. As with the pup, my young brother let lovingly suckled until its teeth nibbled his little nub, suction pricked on fire. My brother howled, bolted straight up to running hysterically in circles, while the suckling pup dangled between his legs like a part of him he wanted to be rid of. I shouldn't end with that image. That really happened to my brother. I just turned 40 initially. So, yeah, this is what 40 looks like nowadays. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm reading a poem, actually, that I wrote when I was 35. I'm turning 30. I'm hiding from the doe-eyed mailman with his Hallmark greeting cards and sincere gift packages that predictably contain blank journals, music, the current postmodern literary tome, other tokens of the zeitgeist, and my mother's walnut brownies. You see, I'm a sophist, a writer, and a liar. My mother has never baked brownies, nor has she sent care packages laden with sweets or salts. The phone is ringing, surely she's at the other end. My answering is being debated as I speak. As this poem exhales away time, second after fatalistic second, like a fox falling through thin ice, struggling to save its dear life in the frozen lake. I find the previous simile overtly dramatic. No matter, for now, the noon sun shines. My curtains are drawn. I called in sick and imagined my birthday cake ablaze in the office conference room. How could a thing made of milk and sugar be so lonesome? But there won't be cake. The cubicles offer no space for such sweetness. I want to stay in bed, fetal position under the blanket, perhaps take an Ambien and sleep through the day, knowing there are 364 more like it. Such futile work. There's too much of me in this poem. Let the mailman bang at my door. Let my mother question what I am doing with my life. Let the baker bleed and feed me chocolate cupcakes with butter frosting. I want to perform a ritual, a bloodletting of birds. 30 species of Earth's angels, from an Adelaide penguin to finch, robin and pheasant to a yellow shafted flicker. A prick, a drop of blood. Once again, the ostrich dashes across the African savanna. The swan postures on an inlet under an orange twilight sky, and the mockingbird disappears into tree shadows in the wilderness, echoing the painful beauty of all my passing years. Thank you very much.